Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. I'm Carl here at carlstaceyguitartuiton and I'm actually filming it from my studio today. A lot of the time these days I tend to do these videos from home because a lot of the time it just tends to be a lot easier and quicker because I can just set something up before I leave the house or while I'm doing admin for lessons and things and just get the job done. But today I've got a little bit more time to kill and I'm going to try and mix it up as much as I'm able to going forward. So hopefully I'll be able to do some at the studio here and some at home as well, mix up the scenery a little bit. I actually forgot my tripod today. I was meant to do a different angle. I'm currently have to rest it on the table here because I forgot my tripod, so that's on me. But anyway, today I wanted to talk a little bit about the fact that I had a bit of an epiphany a week or two ago or something like that. And that epiphany was the fact that I've played somewhere between 400 and 500 gigs in my years of being in music, of playing music, of being a musician at this point currently, which is April 2026, which is absolutely mind-boggling, absolutely crazy. I just want to take a moment to sort of just like acknowledge that and sort of look back on it and maybe talk a little bit about my journey or the things that I've learned or taken away from that experience a little bit as well, because that's kind of the whole idea why I wanted to do this channel and why I like to do this channel. Part of that experience was 3 to 4 years, probably about 3.5 maybe, because I think it was cut short by COVID at the time. But 3.5 years at the very least of being in a cover band and playing gigs every single weekend. That was 1 to 3 gigs, but usually 2 to 3 at the minimum every single weekend for nearly 4 years straight. I played, I think, somewhere around 100 shows a year, give or take. So that's where a good portion of my gig experience actually comes from, is give or take 300 gigs from that one experience and that one band, which is insane to look back on as well. Crazy experience. I spent a lot of that time being pretty severely stressed because it was a lot of traveling and I was still teaching at the time as well, so I didn't really get much downtime or much time off or anything like that, which I can probably touch on. And then also the rest of those gigs that I've done are made up of now somewhere, I don't even know how long I've been playing guitar for 20 years. I've been in bands for like probably 17, 18 years of that 20 years. So the rest of those gigs are made up of originals bands and originals gigs and things like that. Hence the 400 to 500 kind of size. But yeah, it's been a crazy experience thinking about it now and looking back. I've really enjoyed a lot of it and I've really not enjoyed a lot of it as well. I've learned a lot about myself and found myself a lot through that. So what I want to talk about today is some of the things that I think I've taken away from it, so maybe you can learn from that experience a little bit as well. And one thing I've learned about myself is I was never really set out or made in terms of my personality to be in, let's say, like a full-time band or a full-time touring band or anything like that. I think I found it a lot better and a lot easier in my 20s, as you normally do with a lot of aspects of life, right? A lot of things in life when it comes to chaoticness or travel or lack of sleep or whatever, hard work, etc. But I think ultimately I realized throughout that 400, 500 gigs experience, and I still gig to this day, of course, with my band Connection State. We just don't do it as frequently as I once did to try and keep a bit of a balance there. But I've learned that I just ultimately don't think I was made for that life, and I've kind of struggled with that a lot over the years because I'm like, well, I'm a musician. I should be out there playing shows. I should be out there playing gigs. It's the whole idea. It's the whole point. It's what I'm here to do. It's what I'm made to do, etc. And that is right and that is wrong, because now we live in an era where I can do things like this. I can do YouTube videos, I can talk about things I'm interested in and experienced with, I can teach people, which I do full time, and there's many other avenues and ways you can go with that and things you can do within the world of music in 2026, right? Versus once upon a time it was just releasing records or just playing shows or whatever. You can subsidize that a lot better these days, which is awesome, really good news. But yeah, I think you need to be the type of person that is okay with just traveling all the time, basically okay with not having like a set routine or schedule all the time, okay with possibly lack of sleep or tiredness, etc. I am not that person. I like having a specific routine day in, day out. I like doing the same things. I like eating at the same time. I like going to bed and waking up at the same time. I like to take care of my mental and physical fitness, which you can't really do as much when you're gigging that much. I was playing shows from Inverness all the way down to London. It's intense, the entire stretch of the UK, right? It was really, really intense. But I have a lot of fun memories of those times. in the cover band specifically. Really enjoyed some of the experiences of playing weddings and meeting people and all of these cool, amazing things. I could tell stories for days on that, to be honest with you, which I might at some point. And then obviously, yeah, I've really enjoyed touring with originals bands through the years as well. But again, I've realized I like to do it a little bit here, a little bit there. I like to have a little bit of downtime in between. I like to relax a lot more than I once upon a time used to, now that I'm nearly 31 years old as well. It's a very different experience and very different perspective looking back. If you're a musician out there, if you're a beginner, if you're an intermediate, if you go to college currently, university currently, these sorts of things, and you're in the up and coming world of music, these are just things to think about and ponder on. I would really advise that you think, am I the right person for this? Does my lifestyle suit this? Does my future planning goals work with this kind of lifestyle of playing gigs all the time, touring, cover bands, originals band touring, etc.? Whatever it may be, is definitely for a lot of people, and a lot of people thrive in that opportunity, that experience, that situation. And I do to an extent, just like I say, not all the time, really. So other things that I've learned, kind of looking back over the 400 to 500 gigs thing, it is really important that you communicate with people. You learn how to be a bit of a people person. You learn how to work with bands, work with venues, work with other people involved in the whole booking process of gigs. It's very different coming at it from a covers band angle and an originals band angle. I have both of those experiences. I have both of those angles, right? They're very different situations. Very similar, but also very different at the same time. So these are things worth considering and thinking about as well if you're thinking about progressing in the world of music. And that is just basic things, just being a nice person, being communicative, being responsive, being open to discussion. So if you're in a cover band, open to discussion in the aspect that you have to talk about fees, and maybe sometimes you might have to haggle a little bit or explain why something costs a certain amount or whatever the case may be. In originals band context, a little bit of the same in terms of getting what you're worth, in terms of cost of expense of travel, equipment, whatever it may be. It doesn't always work out that way in the originals world, of course, compared with the covers world. But yes, it's worth being able to put your foot down when you need to put your foot down, having a bit of a backbone, which I never had, and it took me a long time to get and a long time to learn. Definitely being able to drive, because you 100% need to be able to travel, you need to be able to drive. Being experienced enough and comfortable enough with driving far distances, of course, that goes without saying. Having a good enough car to put all of this equipment in, which when I was doing covers bands full time, I went through suspension in my VW Polo a couple of times because it was just weighed down by PA systems and amps and day in, day out, and it really does take its toll. So just being kind of anticipatory, it's not even a word, I don't even know. I literally don't know what I'm saying half the time on these videos, I'm being honest with you, but I really enjoy to talk to the camera, that's for sure. Just being just anticipating these types of outcomes, these kinds of situations, right? Again, I've learned that I hate the travel, I hate driving long distance. I do it here or there when I need to for gigs, and just overall travel in life, hiking and things like that, which I'm really into outside of music. But yeah, it's a crazy world out there in the music industry and in the gigging industry. It's very intense, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of travel, a lot of thinking, all of these sorts of things. And like I keep coming back to, these are things you definitely need to think about and ponder on and think, am I set out for this? Is this thing for me? In my future and things like that? Can I sustain this? Can I keep this going? Because it is really important that you do think about these things. Now that I'm removed from that a little bit, looking back, reminiscing, all that sort of stuff, I can see how important it was. And I think at the time I wasn't truly honest with myself about where I wanted to be and the lifestyle that I wanted to have and what was actually good for my mental and physical health, to be completely honest with you. It's also really important, and the last thing I'll touch on in this video here, it's really important that you pick and choose who you work with being in a band, because looking back, I've learned a lot about horrible people to work with, whether it is the people in venues and promoters, etc., but most importantly, the people that you're actually in a band with. And I'm not saying anyone that I've been in a band with has been horrible, that's not true at all. Just some of those people throughout the years. And I've been in a lot of bands at this point, a hell of a lot of bands at this point, so it's really hard to say exactly, but a lot of the people that I have worked with here or there throughout the years have been really difficult to work with, whether it was just because we were younger and we were teenagers and weren't mature yet, and again, just it's one of those things, right? You put a bunch of teenagers together, what do you expect really? No one really knows who they are yet. They're not confident, they might have insecurities, etc. So these things are really hard to work in and work with. Or fast forward through to like more professional setting when you are in your 20s, when you're an adult, post-university, whatever it may be. Just learning the wrong people to work with that maybe aren't reliable, or show up late, are a little bit kind of all over the place in terms of organization or communication, whatever it may be. That really takes its toll on you as a musician, as an individual, if you're really passionate about this and you want to do it more consistently, more full-time and things as well. So yeah, that's just some of my ramblings of things that I've looked back on and thought about and considered, many years removed from all these gigs that I've done over the years. But yeah, let's have a chat about it. Are you currently in a touring band or a covers band? Are you currently gigging all the time? How's it going for you? Do you like it? Do you not like it? What struggles have you had? What positives have you had? That sort of thing. Let's chat about it. It'll be good fun. But I really appreciate you once again for watching and listening. As always, I've been Carl here at Carl Stacey Guitar Tuition, and I'll see you in the next video.